I didn't take my shirt.
Do you like
Do you like your shirt?
No.
Yeah.
It's not very appropriate.
What,
on
for
Her
the day?
Majesty's funeral.
She did support Arsenal as well. Do you know what? That was her team.
Arsenal?
Shit. What do you think of the Queen?
At the funeral.
I can't believe
Yeah.
I'm even sitting beside you right now. This is
I know.
disgusting. Like,
Sweet
For the audio
vintage number.
listeners, would you like to explain your lovely t-shirt?
It's a vintage Tottenham Hotspur top from 1991 when they won the FA Cup. Because I'm a bad gimp.
It's a faker.
It's not. It's got like no.
It's got what? Paul Gascoigne sweat still on it?
Yeah, it's got
It's
no
a fucking
logos.
faker.
It's got no sports logo, and the things are peeling off already.
Is that
Like.
Holston on the
Yeah,
belly?
Holston Lager.
Holston, nice wee beer.
nice.
beer. So how are we all, guys, on this day of the morning?
Oh, good. Have you actually?
Pretty
Did you just watch
tired.
it? No.
No, I
I
haven't yet.
Before we start recording, I literally just asked these guys, is it the funeral today? I forgot.
It
Like,
is mental. Like watching, you're just like, holy shit, the Brits are mental.
is
Like,
it just the whole rigmarole of it all?
it's just like the whole like trumpets and like amount of people at it and the Queen's. It's actually
Soda
mad.
box.
Like as a good loyalist, as I'm not, it's just mad to watch. Just looking at being like, what the fuck is
See
going
the
on over
whole,
there?
Fiasco, people queuing up.
Yeah.
People meeting and falling in love in the queue. Did you
Oh,
see
I didn't
that?
hear that, no.
Yeah, so
fuck, no, they didn't.
load of people met and said that like they basically they fell in love in the queue and they're going to go on their first date together to the Queen's funeral.
That's like, what is
That's
it?
fucking
is
weird,
that
like-
like Wedding Crashers, the movie where they decide they're like, oh no, you don't need to go to weddings anymore. Go to like wakes. That's where you pick up all the chicks.
Yeah, that's it. They're like, it's a surreal feeling meeting someone who could be your life partner in the queue.
This is like North Korea shit, isn't
It,
it?
Yeah.
it is. That's exactly what it looks like.
I'm quite fragile today, and I walked the 10-minute walk to the shop
Yeah.
to find it closed because of the Queen's funeral, and I couldn't get a fry up. It's a fucking
It
disgrace.
is a disgrace.
Like I need black pudding and vegetable roll and stuff.
Black pudding.
I had a bit of black pudding yesterday.
Yeah, black pudding's
No,
great.
You like black pudding?
no. Black pudding's not it.
Black pudding's sick. Like,
No, white pudding all the way.
we went for breakfast yesterday and Teresa didn't had black pudding in hers and I didn't have black pudding in mine. She doesn't like black pudding, so she gave me her black pudding. It was a perfect
I
black
actually,
pudding scenario.
I like that. See, whenever it's
Perfect
like,
black
I don't
pudding
like beans,
scenario.
Ashley likes beans, so I'd flick the beans over and she'd be like, here, just take the sausage there, you know.
That's it.
Absolute
give
winner,
and
like,
take in
that's
relationships.
fucking,
Give and take.
never mind meeting at the wake of the Queen, lads, with real
Did you
lovers.
see the whole thing about David Beckham queuing up?
Bad gimp.
You didn't see this, no?
No, did he fucking cute the whole?
He queued up with everyone else and everyone's all like, what a guy, what a
Yeah,
guy, what a guy. He's just one of us and all. I queued up like 13 hours.
And fuck's sake,
And then
Philip Schofield, my
and Holly
old
Willoughby.
room 101, like.
I know,
What
that's
did they do?
They skipped the line.
Fucking
Because you know your
shit.
celebrity, you can jump in.
Yeah.
And Dave Beckham's on, no, I'm going to do the right thing, cue everyone else.
He wants the knighthood to fuck, like.
He's
Yeesh.
stressing for a night.
Yeah. I thought he had one.
You know, he's.
No, he's OBE.
What's the fucking difference? Oh,
is MBA the knighthood or?
No, MBA is member of the British Empire, and then the one above that is OBE, which is Order of the British Empire, and then above that
Is sir?
there's a CBE, which is like commander or chief, and then there's a knighthood.
Tell you what, there must be a lot of knighthoods in Tyrone, like. Hey,
Right.
sir. Hey, sir. Sir. What the heck,
I don't know where you were going with that.
Hi, sir. When did you get knighted, sir?
Oh, man. But yeah, like I don't. In my head here, I'm thinking about how hard I go in here.
Super hard.
Well, I'm not gonna go that hard, but see all these people like queuing up, and then they put their wee berets on, and they've got their wee medals, and they're giving the whole.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, you're 42. Like,
The boy, did you see the guy doing like a shot of wine on Twitter, and then he starts crying and going like this, yeah?
it's just fully grown men playing like
I
toy
didn't-
soldiers.
I didn't know that at the football, because the football was back on this weekend, they muted all the mics. Joe, that's why I was so silent.
Oh,
Was
did
it?
you watch
Is
any
it-
football this
Because
weekend?
at the Liverpool game there was obviously a bit of ruckus. A couple
Yeah.
of people weren't too happy about the minute silence, and then they're just like, so what they actually did is they're like, look at the respect to everyone else. Goes, no, Sky Sports had just like turned the mic off, left one
Yeah.
on.
Is that
Joe.
why, yeah?
Yeah, and that's why you couldn't hear
Because I've
anything.
seen the Celtic fans, like.
I was going to say, did you see the
Celtic
Celtic
fans,
stuff?
clap if you hit the Queen.
Instead of doing a minute silence, we're all right, we'll do a clap because
Yeah.
nobody's going to respect the minute silence. They're all clapping. They're all, clap your hands if you hit the royal
Yeah.
family. It's scary, all like.
Lizzie's in the box.
It just cuts at Joe Hart, like clapping along. It makes it look like he hits the Queen.
Oh, fuck.
But I used to cat in England.
I actually thought that was dubbed over, but that actually happened. didn't it?
it was shake.
And Joe, it's nuts. They were away from home.
And they still were louder than everyone else.
And they were still that loud.
Oh.
There was the Dundee fans as well singing over Ibrox. Lizzie's in a box. Lizzie's in a
great to
box.
see.
And our viewership is now, we've killed all the loyal
right
stuff.
enough, actually.
People do say
Listen,
we're very Catholic on this podcast, and I don't know what they're
Yeah.
talking about. I don't know.
I know,
It's
sure.
not even anything to do with like Catholic or Protestant. It's just monarchy. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
that guy on. Like,
No.
bring the
Sure,
Republic.
she's up there hanging out with a wee fella who fell off the bonfire, so. There's a throwback.
She's in Protestant heaven, the
Yeah.
Galgorm.
Yeah.
Kicking it back.
It's Protestant heaven, not just like Hillsborough. Do you ever actually drive through Hillsborough? It's
Hillsborough's
fucking
lovely.
weird, like.
Hillsborough's where I had pigeon. That's
No,
it.
no
fucking
wonder.
shock.
It was just in the park.
I didn't know she had a gaff there.
Gas?
Yeah, she had an Airbnb there. Yeah, she'd fly in and out of.
Is that not Hillsborough in England?
No, Hillsborough Castle here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where Charles and I was going to say Diana, Camilla stayed. There's a throwback. We're recording this podcast in 1986.
My TikTok is all like videos of fucking Diana on it.
Yeah, it's all videos
The
from the Crown.
algorithm's just all royal family
Yeah,
shit.
it is mad.
My algorithm's something else.
That and golf.
That's changed Sean's.
What would Princess Diana look like if she was a fucking golf girl? AI representation.
Her sitting outside City Hall, checking a monster.
That's what the video you sent me. Like, why am I getting recommended these videos on TikTok?
How was your weeks in general then?
We had a rough enough gig, both of us, on Wednesday. It was a great. Well, I done new stuff. It was probably not the place
Yes.
to do new stuff in.
Okay.
And it was like a tapas comedy night, and everyone else killed. But like, the first person, as Luke McGibbon said, they're like a sacrificial lamb because people were still eating their dinner, and then he had to get up and do his bit, so they weren't really paying full attention to him. Then everyone else done well, and then I went on and done fucking new stuff straight after the break, which I don't think was the place to do it. It was a solid 5.5, 6 out of 10 gig for myself, and then I came off kind of like, fuck, I fucking hate doing this. And then I had Chicken Box the night after, and Chicken Box was great. And was like, right, the confidence back. And then one best of 3 on Saturday in a tie, and then shot at Freeburn Conlon, and then I had Bellevue last night. So it was a great wee week.
Very good.
It's fucking busy.
Busy
You
week,
get out
fuck
of the house
gigs.
much?
Yeah, no, I just did get out and about.
I had that same gig as well, the River Rooms one. It was good crack actually, and like the idea of the tapas and all was like a belter, but it was like a really weird, skinny, long room.
I'd like to know what the tapas was.
You had some, what'd you eat?
Yeah, fat bastard here had some. I had some tempura prawns.
Yes.
And Luke McGibbon had some pork belly bites. So they were
Lovely.
fucking delicious. And
I showed up late and got nothing. Fuck's sake. That's raging.
and then I had 2 bottles of Corona, and it was just well fed. Mate.
Lovely. Very good.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then had Bellevue last night, and I tell you, I'm back in love. There's weeks I fucking hate
He's
this
back,
comedy.
baby.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
back.
you do a good gig and you're like, fuck, I love this shit. So
Yeah.
good. So good
There's-
for the soul, like.
Can I tell a story about the Bellevue last night? This is what I was telling you in the chat, because you're the warden of this podcast.
So
Warden Pete.
for reference, we basically, there's points where like going to tell a story, we're like, no, save it for the podcast.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just eats
so-
away at you, even though it was 24 hours ago.
Last night, I was like, I'll put this in the chat, and I was like, I'll make a dog's arse of this, trying to tell it blocked.
You definitely would.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make an even more dog's arse of it, telling it hungover.
At least it's a purpose.
Yeah. So basically, we arrived at the Bellevue to do the gig and set up the room, and they said, there's a group of people who've just done the marathon or the half marathon, all drinking there and celebrating. So you need to figure out what to do with them. So I walked up to them and said, listen, we're doing a comedy night, £10 in. You're more than welcome to stay. There's still like enough tickets that you could stay left.
Yeah.
And then they were like, £10 in, and I went, yeah. And they go, for you? And I was like, yeah. Or you need to like go and in another room or find another place in the bar. And then they were like, so you're basically telling us to pay you like £10 for us to stay here? And I went, well, yeah, because we've booked the room. Like, it's the room.
Yeah.
It's our room now. And then they were like, are you playing? And then I went, yeah. And they went, well, he must be telling jokes if you're charging us a tenner for that. So I was like,
bother.
so I was like,
Hold
right.
on. Paint the picture. What age are these people?
Load of middle-aged mas, some young ones, some smacked out fellas.
Why
There was a big and
just tell them
eclectic
to get out?
mix.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want them in the audience. They're
So-
going to be dicks.
I went, right, are you going to stay? And they went, yeah, I think we will. So then I went back thinking, right, we'll get set up here. And then I went back to them, and I went, one of them called me over and went, if we pay, does that mean we're allowed to talk like, but? And I went, no. And they're like, so you're making us pay you a tenner so we can stay
Yes.
quiet?
Yes.
How many times do you want us to say this?
It's a fucking
Yes.
comedy gig. So then I basically was like, can you just go? But I was kind of waiting for the guy to come to set up the sound, but they thought I was just looking at them, waiting for them to leave.
Oh,
and you
God.
could, so then they were answering their phones to their mates who were coming. You're not going to believe this, but some wee fella is telling us we'll have to leave because there's a comedy gig on. And I was like, there is, but. And then they
I
all.
love if none of the comedians turned up and looked like he made it up.
Yeah. So then they just left. So it was like me, Johnny, Phil Galt, and then and my flatmate Rob, and then they all left eventually. And then fast forward, Dave Elliott's there, Johnny Bo's there, Darren Matthews there, and Dave's doing the headline bit. And one of the women who I'd had a bit of the back and forth with, like, was basically walked into the room and then just walked in to use the toilet, and she just seen Dave Elliott and goes, holy fuck, that's Dave Elliott. She
Oh,
was
for
like,
fuck's sake.
you didn't tell me he was playing. And I was like, and then she goes, I'm gonna get the mates on. I went, nah,
It's too late now,
yeah,
like.
it's sold out. Like, yeah.
Oh, what a gobshite.
Those are the things you have to
part of that,
legislate for. Like,
the best part of that too is they're like, you want us to pay a tenner to go to your comedy night. It's like, you stupid cunts have paid to run the race today as well.
Yeah, also
that road is free every other day of the week. You dumb fucks.
it's more the fact as well that like
also the rooms just hired out.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's just
The
like
rooms get hired out.
it's just they walked in and went, oh my god, that's Dave Elliott, and I felt like going poster of Dave Elliott all
Yeah.
around the room.
It's like imagine you hired it out for a christening. So you're telling us we
yeah.
can't be here at your personal fucking private
Thing,
family
yeah.
event? Yeah,
if you give me a tenner in a card though, you can stay. For the wee man.
you know the baby fuck it.
It was the kind of gig at the start as well. I was worried where I'd be walking away being like, is there more smilers than laughers?
Yeah.
But it really fair play to
Good.
Darren. Like he pulled them around. Like I think as well. But then at the break, the DJ went, right, let's do this, and started playing like donk remixes of fucking Eye of the Tiger. And I was like, mate, put on camera tunes.
Yeah, it's like because we were saying at a comedy gig, the only chance you get to talk is in the breaks. That's when
Yeah.
you get all your fucking energy and you're like, right, I'm ready to be quiet again, be good. But he was just whacking tunes, so you couldn't hear a thing.
Proper blast.
That guy just wants to be a DJ. He's fuming. There's even comedy
Yeah,
going on. That guy.
Yeah.
You just as soon as like Darren goes, okay, we're gonna have the break. Before Darren could say it's gonna be a 10-minute break, the tune stuck out so clearly. Man, it was just when I met you in the summer, and like. Oh, then also when Sean was about to go on, so Johnny finished, and then Darren went, right, I'm going to bring our next act up, and like about 20 people stood up and all went to the bar.
Yeah.
Darren went-
Years.
Just everyone
Yeah.
just went for like a piss break or like. to
How
get a
long
drink
Johnny
and all, it's
do?
just,
Johnny done 15, killed like.
So it
and
wasn't
then-
even that long. It's just like, come on, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think they kind of realised some of them came back straight away because Darren kind of said, guys, there's going to be a break in a second, like he's just doing 10 minutes.
I know. It's nuts. Like people just get up and go for a drink, but
But they were a nice
Has to be
crowd.
done.
Like,
Has to be done.
I had Lavery's this week.
yeah, I was going to say, it's a big one.
Yeah.
Then
How was
the
that?
Lavery's
That was
this week.
alright.
It was unbelievable, but like I couldn't have went any better. Like
Yeah.
I was so nervous beforehand. Like Mickey Bartlett was sitting talking to me, and he was all, "But you're fucking sweating. Are you nervous?" And he was all, "I'm nervous. Fuck off, you rat." Like yeah. He was cutting about block. Like just like, hey, I don't know what I'm on about. Just got up and didn't talk about anything. Mickey just got up and just like
What,
winged
rambled?
it. Yeah,
And
just
killed,
winged it.
yeah?
Of course he killed.
Ah,
I was
bastard.
like, you prick.
Bastard.
I'm sitting here like,
Like every bit of work you've done for the last
Yeah,
9 months, you're like,
sweat my bag off.
we
Did
need to
Darren
blow
go
us
on
into the water.
before or after you? Not Darren, Mickey, sorry.
after.
Oh, I know, because Darren was telling me last night, Darren said to him, like, only do like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I think he done like 19. But apparently when Mickey came off, he went to Darren, how long did I do there? And Darren went, 41 minutes. And he was like, what?
It was funny, we were watching, like, Mickey, whatever he was doing, he said something, he got a massive laugh.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and then so he went on, and I was all the Johnny Boy, I was all, if I got half that laugh,
Yeah.
I'd be all, right, Mike's back in, see you later. It's like, bye, like,
We got him.
Johnny was all like, he's not going to stop until the roof literally comes off the thing, like,
It's fucking, it must be so nice to just be able to get up and be like, right, here's just what I'm thinking about today.
yeah.
Do you know what I
Kill
hate?
it.
I've heard him on podcasts before go like, he sees other people that are naturally funny. He goes, oh, you wish you're like that. You look at them and be like, fuck, you're just naturally funny. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, you're the
Just
king
go
of it, like.
fuck yourself.
But it was so good, guys. Like, it was just, it couldn't have went any better.
Yeah.
I think it was probably the best gig I've ever done.
Fuck.
Did you feel like Lavery's, because obviously it's like massive, do you feel like established or like it was in a proper room, like a proper big night, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, you felt like, because it was me, Jordan Rams, and Mickey Bartlett, and Shane Todd, and Darren MC'd it, so it's like everyone there is fucking
Everyone killed it,
class,
yeah.
like, and does it full time pretty much, like and like gets properly paid to do it, so it was like you felt like one of the
Yeah, and you
One
said
of the
people,
guys.
people were getting photos and all with you afterwards.
yeah, right enough. Afterwards, like I had to like sit and get selfies and all. Like I was just sitting there and some guy came up and he was all, "Can I get a photo?" And I was all, "Yeah, no worries." And then Mickey was at the bar getting his drinks, and when Mickey came back, I was all, see that guy was standing beside
Yeah.
you. What's he like? And he was all, he was like, asked me for photos, and I was all, "But he asked me for a photo." And all.
Yes, yeah.
And then like more people come over, like when the actual show ended,
Yeah.
came over and all, like, and these girls and all were taking photos of me, and like Teresa was just like in the background, and I was like getting selfies with these girls. I was like, "Oh fuck, she can see us."
Right,
Look sad.
be honest, did you do that thing where like you deliberately sort of lurk about
Waiting for
raking
people?
a few
Yeah.
comments?
Do you know the lead Lavery's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know where the toilets are?
Yeah.
You go up like a 2 wee steps. There's that wee in shop.
That's where the
medicine
comedians
board
sit,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were just sort of standing there.
So people are sort of
So people are
fussing past
naturally
you.
going to the toilet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a bit of lingering by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
did that.
I was on the first half and like fucking proper like roofed it, like best gig of my life, like. And then I went back into the green room, got a beer, but then I was the last act.
Oh, right, yeah,
in the
yeah,
first
for that,
half.
yeah.
So I came into the bar again. I was like walking through and I was like, "Oh, it's class enough." I was like, I'm walking through the bar in the break, like I knew that
Yeah.
was going to happen.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So
No.
what do you mean you went to the green room and got a beer? You had to pay for that?
No, there's beds there.
There's like a fridge in the green room.
If you can't see my reaction right now in the video, absolutely shocked. That's gold.
Yeah.
That's everything after that is downhill. Free beer in the green room.
Yeah. And
An actual green room, gold.
well, it was a room. Yes, it was a room with chairs, which is a fucking green room in the
That is
comedy.
madness.
We
But,
actually remember the last time we done fucking Bellevue. We were just sitting like busy outside in the beer garden.
Yeah, yeah.
As our green room. Last night we just cut off the other half of the bar, and then we had the rest of the bar where you can't see the stage. As like a
Okay.
green room. It was actually quite sick. Like,
Yeah, it actually was good.
But yeah, Johnny Bowe was there as well, and Paddy McGahey.
Paddy-
They just,
legend.
Just
dropped
hanging
down
out.
to
Yeah.
watch and all, and then there was 2 English people as
was
well.
Johnny
like,
in the
and
suit?
Johnny was in the
He's in the
suit.
suit still, yeah.
Yeah, he was still in the suit, man.
Man's working, you know.
Yeah.
And I had like a few
Hustling.
people from like that I didn't know was going to be there. Was there?
Shine and stuff, or
What?
people from like Shine and stuff, or just
No, like my mates and stuff.
Oh right,
like
I
people
thought,
I
yeah.
know.
I figured.
Was the promoter
Uh,
for that Dungannon gig there?
Sorry?
Promoter from the Dungannon gig?
What was the Dungannon gig?
Doesn't matter.
Oh
The
fuck
scouts-
yeah!
the
The
scouts-
scouts were the scouts from the Empire there. You don't know who you're on about, do you?
I do, do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
He
as
was,
you said, the people-
he was recently caught in town doing a wee dance.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah.
There.
Just as you said,
Uh,
was the promoter from Shine there. I was like, what about that boy that does the scouting for the Empire?
He probably was.
No, look, what Giffen said to me, but he was like it's hard not to feel like a rock star after you do it. Like,
Yeah.
Lavery's like it's.
But I had like people like I like used to go to school with like years and years ago because I went to school and left
Yeah.
it. So like
They were like,
they were like, oh, but you probably won't remember. I went to school with you and all. I was like, what the fuck? And then like there was guys on the front row and all. I don't know, like Shane Todd was doing crowd work with one of them, and even like someone's doing crowd work with someone you know.
yeah,
It's
you're
so
fucking.
funny. Like
Yeah.
he was all, what's your name, Big Shooter?
Big
We were, like,
Shooter.
shaking with the guy. And he was all Jordan. He's all, no worries, Jordan, don't do me a favour. Do you want to get your fucking foot off my stage? And he took his foot off the stage and he's all, no, put your foot back on. Just proper like doing his head in though.
He done one of the best works of crowd work I've seen Shane do is where it reminded me of JP. He's like a big lad with glasses and a ponytail, but it's a ponytail up like that there. And Shane got up on stage and went, nice to meet you, mate. What do you do for a job, samurai?
But yeah, last night.
Do you want to get your foot off my stage?
He's all, you doing, Big Shooter? Like real friendly. He's all, get your foot on my stage. No, put it back on.
That's fucking class.
Do you remember the fucking gig in Chicken Box? And the guy, the hippie guy, and I
Yeah.
just shut up. I was like, even though it was a semi-rhetorical
Ciaran
question.
Franco crowd work is second to none. I absolutely love it. Like
Yeah.
that for that one they're talking about there. What did you do? You're like,
I asked a question expecting an audience response, and when someone actually responded, I was just a
Yeah.
prick to him.
you're like, oh, does anyone see the Queen Day this week? And someone go, ah, yeah, me. And you go, fuck up. Yeah, me.
Just cutting the back for no reason.
Oh, my opening joke last night died on its hole, and I thankfully pulled it back. Like,
Do you want to do it here tonight?
it was just saying I went, just remember the reason for the season, folks, and then they were like, what is it? There were some people were asking now, and you know, like tomorrow was like the World Cup final for loyalists, and then
Right.
it just went silent. And I went, and then I done another bit about the Queen that kind of pulled it back, and I was like, that's the one and only time I'll do Queen jokes.
But I don't think that joke works because you said it's a World Cup for loyalists. That means
Yeah.
they like it. Why would loyalists like the Queen
I think
down?
it came off the. I
It's an
asked,
important
Calvi
day, but
pal.
it's not something to be
Yeah.
celebrated.
I asked Aaron before. I asked Aaron, I went, do you think I should do it? And he went, I'll see you on Twitter. It was very good. So Matthews.
He said
He's shifting the blames at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah. I'm gonna.
Yeah. I did a new bit at that River Rooms, and basically the whole gist of the joke is I say gaslighting. You need the audience to know what gaslighting is, someone to describe what gaslighting is,
Yeah.
and then I make a joke off the back of it. And I was like, does anyone know what gaslighting is? First person puts up their hand, completely wrong. Second person puts
What
up
did
their
they
hand.
say what it was?
I can't remember. They're just like, oh, it's
Like
like.
when Furnace Energy come round and like the fixture boiler.
I was like, do you know what gaslighting is? And like, oh, it's basically when you like tell a lie. I was like, no,
No,
that's not it.
kind of,
You are
but not
wrong.
really.
And then the next person, like people were actually like, oh, I know. It was like being in school. It was fucking mad. They're like, oh, I know. And I was like, right. And then they're like, oh, it's kind of when you know you sort of just bend the truth. People, I'm like, not really. No. And then like working my way around the room, and I was like, oh, I can't really do this bit now.
For
For
some
fuck's
people
sake.
talking into their tappers when it's when you're fucking.
Yeah.
That's right, because when you told me about that joke, I was like, that sounds good. But
Yeah.
like you say, you're legislating for people knowing.
But I was looking right. So
And people are stupid.
you know what people who like know the term gaslighting will look like? Do you know, like that sort of idea in your head of like you will know what it is? Do you know what I mean? And there was a girl sitting to my left with like fucking blue hair, like just fitted the bill. I was like, if
She's
you
been
put up your
gaslit
hand-
a few times in her life.
By a hairdresser. No, it looks lovely.
That really suits you. You look like Sonic the Hedgehog. That's really in these days.
Everyone comes in and asks that colour.
Sonic the Hedgehog looks in.
That's a clip. That's a clip.
I was looking at her being like, I was like, come on, love, fucking, you, give me the
Yeah.
definition
Don't
here.
call her
And she-
love.
And she's just like, yeah, right enough. I can't assume that, for fuck's sake. But and then she just sat there like, no, not giving
No.
it, mate. I was
Oh,
like,
fuck.
you bastard.
You were gaslighting her.
Yeah. I was like, you fucking do know what it is. I don't. I was like, you fucking do.
Oh, fuck.
Joke completely backfired.
Yeah, fucking hell.
We'll get him next time.
Right, guys, we'll go into the results of Room 101, Room 102.
For the last time.
Some
ever.
harrowing news this week.
Some harrowing news. What we're going to do is, for now anyway, we're going to retire Room 101, Room 102.
I told you today that I was stretching for my room 101, but you thought I was choosing room 101 as stretching.
What did you say?
I said I'm stretching. I said in our chat.
Oh!
Yeah. That's hilarious.
You said you're stretching for Room 101, but I thought you were picking
Stretching as my
What do you
room
mean, like
101?
you're stretching
To
to think of
think of it?
ideas?
Yeah,
You're sitting there being like, fucking the downward facing dog, fucking hate it.
Even more reason to fucking pen it off.
Yeah,
like, for
you
fucking-
replied being like, "Oh, if you're choosing stretching as your room 101, then
Like, I forgot. I've like ran out of things to hate and love.
Do we
Yeah.
have a winner for Room 101s, 102s? Like, do we know who like got the most?
I've got a list of everything that was picked.
yeah,
Do we do a winner?
we can announce it this week on the Instagram.
Well,
if we
we'll
go.
fly through it here. So what one last week was so I got for taking a shite in work for guilty pleasure,
Yeah.
and then Americanisms for room.
So I
101.
won one, you won one.
Yeah. So we're not going to do room 101, room 102 anymore. We're going to replace it with another feature. We're going to go on that in a couple of minutes, but I thought we'd maybe read out everything that's made into room 101.
Do you know what I think we should do? Yeah, read them all out, and then can we pick one from each to be like, this is the ultimate
The
pet peeve,
ultimate
this is the
pet
peeve,
ultimate-
yeah,
this
okay.
is
There's quite a lot.
shoot.
Okay, so Americanisms
Yeah.
This is guilty this is things
And
we
we're
hate,
room
pet
101s.
peeves.
is
Yeah.
pet peeves, so I'm just
Okay.
going to run through them here. Americanisms, retail customers, people who say fair play sarcastically, TransLink, people who buy trays of protein yogurt and put them on social media.
That was a weird one that should know.
Phone a cab, the groggy feeling after a nap, when takeaway doesn't hit the spot.
Great one.
Shops charging more than 5p for a plastic bag, paper straws, people not using contactless payments,
You.
and parents putting the back to school photos on Facebook.
What do you think's the best
I
one?
think it's a. I mean, I don't know, Sean. Sean, you've got in there
Me
as
and
well.
Sean's
Something.
got the most in that one.
Do you? Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I think so.
My favorite
We
one.
need- I can tell them
my favorite one was the yogurt one. I don't know why.
I've
found
got
that
retail
so good.
customers.
TransLink.
TransLink.
It might be actually be an even split between
Yeah.
the three of us. It'll naturally be an even split.
Yeah.
I think like it's a bit hack and it's a bit boring, but
Yeah.
the real pet peeve is probably retail customers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That was the original as well. It
was
fucking
the-
drove
it was
me
the
up the
OG.
wall from working in the office.
Is that the very first one?
That
Yeah.
was so original that Room 102 wasn't even in action at that
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah, right enough.
It was just the first one.
I just wanted to get something off my fucking chest, man.
So the guilty pleasures on the list are taking a shite in work, Eurovision, good drying weather, Carly Rae Jepsen,
You.
cancelling plans,
You.
old man pubs, the Irish goodbye,
You.
walking about the house in your underwear, eating a takeaway alone in your car,
That's so weird.
wasting a day, and fonts.
That's it.
I got
See when you read them all
Can
on the
I-
list,
can
it's
I-
so
can I-
nuts.
We're mental.
The best one, I genuinely. Walking about the house in your underwear.
Yeah,
Go for that,
yeah,
like.
definitely.
Or the Irish goodbye. But yesterday was a big sitting about in underwear, like holding back a panic attack before the gig day.
Yeah.
I pulled off an absolute the most Irish goodbye of Irish goodbyes, right? So that's weekend past there, I was in Donegal with a load of my mates, and we were all at the big house we're staying in, and I actually managed to Irish goodbye in the house we were all in.
Right.
So like we all got back to the house drinking, where everyone was up fucking drinking away. After got back from the pub, it was like 12 o'clock at night, and then I just was like, fuck, boys, I'm very tired, but couldn't break the news and I was going to go to bed.
Right.
So just Irish goodbye while everyone else was still in the house.
Working
Fucking
your way
nice,
up
yeah.
to the bedroom. like.
But just floated up the stairs like, goodbye.
They're like, you slippy fucker, you look like you're going for a piss and you just didn't
They come back.
Did you not gaslight them the next morning?
Yeah.
No, what are you talking about?
the whole time.
Down the whole day.
yeah. I sat in the corner playing Come
I
On You
shot
Black
that girl with the blue hair all night.
Guys, do you not remember when I got up and done the stand-up set for you?
I know. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to, for now anyway, we're going to leave room 101, room 102. What we're going to do is we're going to go on and each week one of us is going to pick a silly sort of news article or news story or
Yeah.
something to do with social media or something like that we've seen. We're going to tell the other people the story, and then we'll put some sort of vote or poll up on the Instagram for the viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is up for that? Some way for them to react. So
Yeah. Okay.
I picked the story this week, and it's a bit of it's a random one, right? So
Oh, fuck, that one about the people meeting in the queue would have been fucking great.
I
And
would've
falling
been
in
a good
love,
one,
yeah.
actually, Right. So you ready for this for a fucking headline?
Yeah.
Man wakes up to go for a piss to find he is in a coffin and has been sacrificed.
Where is this in Lurgan?
So this is
Lauren.
from the Metro. We've got a photo of this guy. Look how fucking knackered he looks. I don't know if we're going to slide this in.
Oh my god, he looks shattered.
So this is Victor Hugo.
He looks like 12 years old.
What do you mean?
He does look quite young.
He went for a piss and then
He wakes
blacked
up to
out.
go for a piss and realises he's been buried alive in a coffin.
I hate it when that happens. It happens to me all the time.
So a terrified festival goer says he's been offered as a human sacrifice to Mother Earth after he woke up trapped in a coffin after a drinking binge. Terrified Victor Hugo Miguel Alvarez, age 30. I bet he's 30.
Fuck off.
Smashed out of a casket about 50 miles away from where he fell asleep in El Alto, Bolivia. He'd been drinking heavily the night before
A few Coronas.
at the Mother Earth Festival, where indigenous people offer everything from live animals, sheep's fetuses, sweets, cocoa leaves, and humans for their goddess.
Imagine waking up like blocked and being like, "Fuck, right, hang on, this is a bit rough. I've had a few weird ones.
Aye.
I've woken up in a few weird ones, but this is just
I thought you were fully expecting to be like I was at EP last weekend.
Well, that's it.
Help me, Glastonbury.
He's turned up to a music festival thinking fucking Stereophonics are going to be on.
That is fucking mental.
He realises it's not one of these ones with a sacrifice human bodies, so they've buried the cunt alive while
It's steaming.
he's woke up stressing for a shit.
Him going for a wee Irish goodbye, and then next thing he wakes up the next
Put
morning.
him off here.
You just buried me, Hugo. No, we didn't, Hugo. We didn't bury you. They're gaslighting.
Oh.
What? I remember seeing a guy, a Smeg I had on Facebook tweet or post a
Makes you think of
status.
Margie McCall, doesn't it? Like,
Fuck her.
that's right. What were you going to say?
Some Smeg I had on Facebook. I remember posted a status being, "Fuck me, lads. I've had a couple of weird ones." He goes, but waking up in the back of some fella's van in his garage is the weirdest one ever.
The fuck?
But like, imagine the hangover.
That's like a horror movie. Like that is actually
Yeah.
like first one goes to sleep, gets buried alive. That is mad.
There's a boy Owen that when he was steaming, he went into he just walked in to some guy's house, sat there, and just sat like properly.
What's happening?
Right. So my flatmate Rob, who just moved in, on Christmas Eve, this guy was walking about the pub. You know, when people go for Christmas Eve pints, winding them up, being like, just trying to make a take of people. And apparently, people were like kicking him and going, "Get the fuck out of this pub!"
Right.
So he left the pub, and then the next morning they got a text saying that he left the pub, fallen into a river. Like got out, climbed out of the river, walked into some randomer's house, opened their door, and just sat in their living room.
What?
Just waiting there, like as if like this is my house now. And they came downstairs and were like, "What the fuck are you doing in our house?" And he was just sat there like soaking.
So this is the second segment we've had this week. It's Ciaran Franco's "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I never know what to say. I don't know what to say to that. That's fucking
Yeah.
just sitting there dripping wet.
Yeah, just soaking. And she had to come downstairs and be like, "What the fuck are you doing in our house on Christmas Eve?" And the boy was sat there like, "I have no idea where I am."
Lovely.
Yeah, I know.
You think your hangover's bad? Fucking boy buried in a coffin. You know what I mean?
I'll send you the photo of him as well. He's a fucking prick.
Sounds like one.
Imagine the panic of waking up. You wake up with a fear when you're hungover anyway. Waking up in a coffin, like. So what he done? Apparently, he smashed his way out of it.
Yeah.
It was like glass on the inside or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. The whole article goes with it, like.
It would be if it's a coffin.
So hold on. What way could we phrase this for the viewers?
Guy
I'd like to get like a 2-option question.
What do you mean?
Have
Like-
you ever woke up in a coffin?
What would? Do you know what I mean? Something like.
What I think we should do is off the back of this, do like what is like your most mental like hangover story,
Yeah.
and let people submit maybe like a voice note or
Yeah,
something.
something like that.
get people
Okay.
to
I'm gonna
voice
play
notes,
them on
yeah.
the podcast. So like
Okay.
whatever. So next thing say say there's like a news story of like
What's the
um,
worst place you've woke up after?
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
drink? Right.
yeah.
Okay.
So something
we'll
like
do
that. And we'll like share the best ones. We'll not share any names if you don't want your name shared, but we'll like just talk through them if there's any belters out there.
Imagine we got Victor Hugo send us in.
Can I also say?
Victor Hugo, subscribe
Where's
to
the
the
where
pod.
is the worst place you woke up after a hangover?
Probably,
This
yeah. This house where you wrecked my toilet.
Up through my mouth and broken, not
Yeah,
through my ass.
Not
Let's
through
just
us,
put
yeah.
that out there.
Yeah.
It was through broke, not
No,
shit.
you know what it is? You didn't actually wreck it. You were very clean.
I was very clean,
Yeah,
sicker.
I was like, oh, I'm going to come in here and it's going to be fucking destroyed.
No.
And then it was spotless.
Spotless.
toilet duct was used, to clean it.
I'm a good poker.
Worst place I woke up is after Oktoberfest. I was meant to be in work the next day, and just blacked out. And then I woke up in the middle of the street in town, and my dad was waking me up, being like, "Wake the fuck up!"
Yeah.
He was driving around Belfast city centre looking for me, and at 1:30 in the morning, being like, "You've work in the morning." It was at Oktoberfest, and then I thought, one wee tiny small Frankfurter, like, this'll end the stomach, and then just blacked out at like 9 o'clock. So I'd love to know what I'd done in them 6 hours.
Where did you wake up?
Round near where River Rooms was.
The Big Fish?
Yeah, round sleeping by the Big Fish. My dad had obviously been that worried about, like, he still hasn't come home and he's not answering his phone, so got in his car and started driving around town.
You're a bit of a disaster, aren't you? Like,
yeah, I mean, no wonder the fella fucking
dodged me for pinball asleep by the Big Fish over here.
So he pulled up. He pulled up by the Big Fish and was like, "Where were you?" And I'd only done one gig, by the way, at this time. This is the Thursday after my first Suburban Pavilion. Yeah. And he pulled up and went, "Where were you?" And apparently I went, "Doing a gig." Clearly wasn't.
Hustles don't start for nobody.
Is it the Odyssey?
Have you ever woke up after a night of drinking, like, stark naked, and you're just like, why am I butt naked here? Like,
I sleep naked, so every day I wake up naked.
You sleep naked?
Bollocks out.
The fuck? You do?
Yeah.
So you get up in the morning, you're like, I'll put on a pair of boxers just to walk around the house, don't want to completely...
Well, like, if I'm, like, staying in someone else's house or, like, something like that there, but, like, if it's normally me where I sleep in my bed. Yeah.
Is that the only reason you moved out of home and got yourself a
No,
house?
I've always slept like it.
That is mental.
Always. Like since the age of about, like, 12.
What about shite stains on your, like, sheets?
I clean my ass when I go for a shit.
Yeah, but, like, you never know on, like, a summer's night.
That says more about you than it does me.
Yes,
I'm very confident.
That's actually blown. So you wake up with, like, clothes on, you're like, what the fuck's happened? You're the opposite.
Yeah, actually. I'd be more concerned if I woke up with clothes on.
There was one time I woke up at my nanny and granda's house, like, fuck, I don't think I was butt naked, I think I still had my boxers on, but just on the floor of, like, the fucking toilet, in the toilet, bathroom, Jesus Christ, I completely lost that word there, like, just in my boxers in the toilet, and my granda had to come in and be like, Sean, I think you need to go to bed. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, why am I in my granda's house? Why is my granda here? I didn't even know how I ended up there. I wasn't even out, like, with my nanny and granda that night. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking hell.
Did your granda drug you?
Yeah. Roofie just said if you... No, I didn't drug you, Sean.
Get
that boxers off you.
Come on here. What? Slaps his ass, get you in the bed.
Let's go, champ.
I'm going to give you a nut you won't forget.
But here, actually, before we move on, first I need to say, Naomi Mitchell submitted like a funny news story.
Okay.
And that's what sort of birthed this idea. That, like, listeners, if you want to send them in, you know what I mean? The one Naomi Mitchell sent in was the testy koozie. Right?
What, like a jacuzzi for your balls?
Tiny wee, like, jacuzzi for your testicles.
Take my money.
So you pop your balls in there.
And what,
you hot water.
You come in about 10 seconds.
And you can clean your balls, aren't it? So that's
the
level of story that Naomi Mitchell looks at.
Is that her new business venture, or is this like a subtle ad she's made us do?
I know.
See, I'm a big cultured bastard, so I'll be getting all my news articles from The Guardian. I'm like, guys, did you hear this one?
Yeah.
Ukraine have taken back 12,000 square kilometers, guys.
Well, Teresa suggested, I thought it was a good suggestion from her. She said, like, you're like the shit, like, women's magazines.
Yeah.
Like Take a Break and Women's Choice and all this
I
shit.
like the idea of going through. Do them, like, I love them flow charts. Do, like, in, like, women's magazines, it's like, does he, like, fucking, and then you, like, follow it down and you find out what sort of, like, relationship you should be in and all, like, all that mad shit.
Do you ever see the ones like, okay, there was, like, Hello was kind of the posh one, and then there's OK and The Star, maybe.
No, OK is posh.
Okay, so, and then there was you got some sleazier ones. And I remember being on holiday with my man, all my cousins, like my cousin Sarah and all, and they would always bring them on holiday with them. And then obviously there was no Wi-Fi, and I was 16. They'd be like, ain't going up for a lie down, and then just take the OK magazine.
Oh, no.
My cousin was like, what do you do for that? I was like, better reading. While I'm up there.
No.
Come back down 5 minutes later, like, fuck, that was some kip. Jump back straight in the pool.
Horny Franco strikes again, but
like, my mom would come and she, why the fuck are all my magazines in the room? And I was like, I don't know. I fucking love knowing what Katie Price is up to these days. She's under her sick husband.
I love how no filter you have.
That's fucking mad.
But yes, we'll put up an Instagram poll. So this week's story is big fucking Victor Hugo getting a tight. Big Bolivian
I never got it.
The Bolivian hangover. So
hangover.
where's the worst place you woke up?
See, next week, this Saturday, I'm doing Oktoberfest again. if they're swearing, never, because it's backlit.
Okay.
So if you get a text on Sunday morning going, "Fuck boys, I have a Bolivian hangover here,"
Me and Sean will be round the big fish with a big nap. Fucking scoop him up. Where were you? Another gig.
Some wee horny singles fishing for some Francos this Saturday in the Oktoberfest tent.
That'll be up on the table.
Golf girls head down to the big fish on early Sunday morning.
Sacrifice them. Throw them in the fucking lagoon.
So next week, one of yous come in with a belter story for us then.
No worries.
I feel like that's going to be hard to top. But yeah.
Questions?
Do you want to go into questions? Because we've got fucking loads this week.
I'll go. My uncle Chris listens to the podcast and always. It takes him like 4 weeks to come up with a question because he always wants them to be really good.
I respect that.
So he says this week, what is your
Ronaldo.
What is your favourite pub in Northern Ireland or Ireland, whatever side of the border you play, and what is your favourite pub you've ever been to internationally? Like if there's one. So favourite pub here, I'm gonna go the Sunflower probably.
Right.
It's my favourite, or the golf club. They're both like one's an old man's bar and one's a fucking sort of nice bar that does good food and sort of got a real cool sort of atmosphere to it. In the Sunflower.
I can't pick one. There's so many good wee spots.
And then if I had to do somewhere abroad, it would be like fucking like a beach club or something. Fucking.
I'm gonna give the Courthouse in Lurgan a shout out.
Yeah.
Courthouse, actually, I don't know how they done it. Like, but Courthouse won Bar of the Year, Northern Ireland this year.
Not Stables.
No, not
These two
Stables.
dragons.
No, Northern Ireland won Stable. Fucking hell. Courthouse won Bar of the Year in Northern Ireland this year. I quite like. You're going to hate me for this. It's hack as fuck. I quite like the points.
Points? Oh, sorry, I'm not a fan.
I've only been like twice, so it's still like a wee novelty.
As a man that
for me.
doesn't drink Guinness, I can understand that statement.
Yeah.
The Guinness in it is absolute shite.
Sean, where are you going, Willispoons?
Where might one be in Uri? Catholic working man's in Uri. Proper wee
What's it called?
Catholic working man's in
No
Uri.
pros allowed?
No pros allowed. There is no pros in Uri.
Oh, right, yeah,
Keep up
folks.
with the times. So it's basically like the beauty of the Catholic working man's is it's like a proper dive social club bar.
Yeah.
But the back beer garden, they got a load of money in through COVID, and it's fucking amazing.
grand?
Yeah.
It is
We go,
unreal. And it's like they've got wee booths, and at each booth there's a TV on the wall.
Yeah.
Perfect for your World Cup, perfect for your Euros, perfect for your Saturday.
Yeah.
And then just to top it all off, a pint costs you £3.
That's good. Like,
That's class.
That is fantastic. And like a vodka coke's like fucking £2. It's mad. It's the cheapest bar in Uri.
Shout out to JP's in Lurgan. Well, it's not called Master McGrath Arms, but everyone knows it as JP's. It's like my Courthouse would be like where I'm going for like a Friday or Saturday night out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Lurgan, JP's is like
where do we
old man
go?
pub sort of.
You couldn't you couldn't take the woman to the Catholic worker man's now. You know what I mean? But
well,
that's
the right sort of woman. You got the right sort of woman. You got.
She's got tattoos on her knuckles. You can take her there.
INLA.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
What was the second part of that? So favorite
International.
pub?
It's an international pub. Have you ever been abroad and you've been like, whoa, this bar's for me? Like, see, to be fair, it's hard to describe a bar that maybe you'll never go back to again, or.
I'm trying to remember them because I'm usually blocked. So
Yeah.
it's hard to remember. Like,
I can't think of one place where I'm like, this bar is class abroad.
There's a bar called the Manchester Bar in Barcelona, which plays like proper Oasis, Blur, like all sort of Britpop
fuck, I
and
love
stuff and
that.
indie tunes. And the way it's done up, it's just got all like photos of the classics and like signed records by them and all. It's a really cool bar.
This is an awful
really like
answer,
that.
but it's the answer I'm choosing. So whenever I go over London to watch Arsenal games, there's I think I've told you about this before. It's a Wetherspoons, right? But it's not your standard Wetherspoons. It was like an old movie house cinema.
Okay.
And it's been like converted now into a Wetherspoons. So it still has all like the massive like sort of like your old cinema sort of traits did.
Yeah.
But it's like a Wetherspoons. So like food's cheap and cheerful, pints cheap and cheerful, perfect for a match day. So yeah, international's mine.
There we go. I can't think of any.
Because you're too bloody black, but.
Well, it is. I generally am.
One question was this might get a bit of a debate going. Terry Hood asks, do you think jokes about fat people are fat shaming or?
What do you mean? Wait. So
like
jokes about fat people fat shaming?
Yeah, are doing jokes like about slagging fat people? Is that?
Well, as a man that has been accused multiple times
Of being a fat bastard.
Of
fat shaming,
fat phobic.
of being fat phobic. Yes.
As a man who's on his way to hopefully be a fat bastard soon, I think if you're slagging yourself, it's okay. If you're slagging maybe someone who deserves it, like Stephen Nolan, it's okay. But then there's a line where if you're just calling, like, if you're going to do a joke like, I was bucking someone who's just fat, that's just.
But I would argue, does Stephen Nolan deserve it?
Well, yeah.
But he hasn't. Like, I think he should be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
But I think that reason for saying he deserves it isn't the reason to justify it.
Right, well, yeah, then, but I think if you're going to just make fun, like, your whole argument is like, just and
I
somebody
think
doesn't
about
deserve
anything.
it. Yeah.
Here's my take. I've had this thought in my head the last while, right? So, do you know whenever someone has really bad mental health,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can like visually sort of see at times if their mental health isn't great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's hard, but like you can go up to your mate and they encourage you to go, mate, are you alright? Do you need a cup
Yeah.
of tea? Chat to me, right? But you can see someone who's physically in awful shape, looks horrendous, which is
Yeah.
arguably just as bad. And if you go, mate, you need a bit of help, like you need to get into the gym, you're fucking the worst in the world. Do you know what I mean? It's actually
Yeah.
very weird, that dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
So how you look at someone and go like, mate, you need a wee bit of help, but then you look at someone and goes, but you need to hit the gym, and they're like, fuck you.
I think vulgarity comes into it. How over the top you are with the whole thing. Being like, they were the most disgusting fucking.
It's just
yeah.
it's
Context
context
thing?
of
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
You can joke about
Yeah.
anything. That's my opinion. You can
Yeah.
joke
Yeah,
about
yeah.
anything.
Just the way you phrase it.
Anything.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
Have you got the skill
To
to
pull it off.
navigate it?
I suppose that's the sign of a good
The
comedian.
vast majority of people
Yeah.
don't have the skill to navigate.
Yeah, like go and turn around and going like, oh, such and such, fat bastard. That's not really. That's
Yeah.
not a joke. Do you know what I mean? You're not going about
Yeah.
it in the way you're saying, like,
Yeah.
but you can cleverly sort of do it in a way
Yeah.
if you got the skills. So yes, you can.
So
joke about-
technically no, but you have to be good.
Yeah, I suppose that's the sign of a good comedian if you can do it and
Yeah.
pull it off.
Joanne Lappin asks, what's your favourite swear word or phrase that you use in stressful situations, and once you say it, you instantly feel better? So for example, she says, if you're rushing out the door, you're running late, you drop something, you stub your toe, what profanity do you come out with? Hers is motherfucker.
Oh,
So there's something you just go like, you say instantly and it makes you feel a bit better.
Do you know what one comes to my head? I don't say it, but my mum always goes, "Fuck me, pink."
fuck me. Thank you.
And that's such a. I don't know why. Yeah, everything. Fuck me, pink. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
For me, it's probably just for fuck's sake.
Fuck,
Yeah.
shitter was one phrase. You fucking shitter.
That sounds like somebody's just learned to swear.
Yeah, the phrase. So when
You
watch,
fucking fucker shitter.
when watching one of my mates always says it, and he's quite posh, so it rubbed off on me. So anytime watching Spurs, I'm like, ref, you shitter. It's so fucking.
I would go with cunt quite a bit.
You
Like,
shitter.
I would call myself a cunt, like, you fucking cunt, like to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would argue it's not the phrase and the words that you're saying, it's the volume.
Yeah.
Just shouting anything. You can replace it with anything.
Uh,
Cups of tea. Like that would work just as good.
Yeah.
As
I
for
love the
fuck's sake.
phrase. My favorite phrase to describe anyone who's like a bit of a character, but like they're an annoying character. Mooncat. He's
Yeah.
that boy's a fucking mooncat. Like,
Mooncat, Space Cadet.
I heard someone be described as a scrawly mooncat once, and I don't know what that means, but I like it.
Darren, give me a good example of someone as a mooncat. Where he goes, he showed up to training really, really late, and Darren was like, "What the fuck are you late to hurling training?" And he goes, "Oh, my sister wasn't home to put my contact lenses in."
That's brilliant.
Which we proceed to be like, if that is the reason, don't say that.
Yeah, you
just choose a different line.
I've got a brilliant one. I'll not say his name, but there was a guy I went to school and he was late for work. And when he was asked why he was late for work, he said he had no electric in the house, so his alarm didn't go off. Bro, had a plug in alarm, like fucking into the mains.
Oh fuck me!
Not even a battery one. No electric in the house, for alarm went off.
That's quality.
There's a guy, a boy I work with in House of Fraser, was like when he started working with us, he was a rocker dude, and then
Yeah.
he started like because there were a lot of like sort of really good looking people in House of Fraser. He started like lost the long hair, trimmed his beard, started like wearing real fancy clothes and all that, and started asking every woman he worked with if they're out, and then he basically one day done a sunbed, but he'd never done a sunbed before and stayed in it for 20 minutes.
Holy
and
shit.
And then he came in straight after it. I mean, like fucking Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. And we seen him at the till, and he just literally like keeled over a mean stroke.
That's fucking
That's
scary,
mad.
like,
Yeah.
isn't it? So he got the sunbed and then came on.
Like came into work, like so he must have went for a
Like
quick
straight
sunbed.
afterwards,
Yeah,
then?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then
Fucking hell.
yeah, I was like, "Are you alright?" And he went, "Yeah, I'm fine." He was a prick.
All moisture sucked out of his
Yeah,
body.
yeah, he was a prick anyway. Like he got sacked, and he got sacked for letting hot girls who worked there use his discount. And then like so, but he was doing it in front of all the managers. Being like, so girls who were serving were like, "Do you get discount as employees?" And like, "Yeah, you can use mine if you want." And they were like, "You're not allowed to do this."
Worth it if he was getting his hold for playing him.
Fair play to him.
No,
Talal Jomar asks, what made you all get into stand-up, and what's the plans for the podcast in the future? Bit of a serious one, guys.
Yeah, she's-
Well, that's not like you. Big man.
No, Tal, you
Having
put me
okay
on the
at home.
spot. I got into it because it's always been like, sort of like the dream to do it. Like there's used to be like whenever we every Christmas we would go for like a meal with all my mum and dad's friends and their kids, and that was like my fucking Super Bowl. Like I would get there and work the table and try and be like a joker, like with everyone, and try and make people laugh. Be like Sinatra. I'd be like,
remember that time I passed out the fish? Remember?
yeah. I'd be like telling stories about when I worked in like the Lansdowne, and people were like, "Is the fish here battered?" And I went, "I took it out earlier on and give it a good slap." And stuff. And like, but it was like you always got the table laughing, and I felt this is the best thing ever. And then I just started writing jokes, and I was like, now that I do it, like and do it like maybe twice a week, I'm like, I fucking love this, and I really want it to be the full-time thing. And then the podcast is sort of a way to help project the image and help get across sort of even the podcast, the sort of character I do here is sort of the character I'm on stage as well then, and help display that a wee bit of personal stuff.
My answer is so boring. Mine's just always wanted to do it, and eventually just bit the bullet and was like, yeah, fuck it,
Same.
give it a go. Like I've always like talking in front of like crowds, like see that uni working all never bothered me. Do you like doing like presentation all? Fine, love all that shit. And then whenever you get like we laugh, it's just that we once you get that first hit, as you say, Joe, like that first bit of fucking you say something, people laugh, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ, I'm into this. Like
there's a film called Stan and Ollie about Laurel and Hardy,
right? And
me and my flatmate who moved in there now, we went to see it, and this is when I was like him and in hand between trying to do stand up, and then that really was like a kick up the backside where I was like, look at these guys and how obsessed they were with it, and I was like, I really want to do this now. Yeah,
I always wanted to do it, like literally from like I was about 10 or so, like, but then what finally kicked me ass to do it was re-listened to Kevin Bridges' book, because I'd already listened to it before, but re-listened to it, Jimmy Carr's latest book, and Bob Mortimer's as well.
Do you know what also happened to me? So I actually went to a couple of comedy shows when I was really like interested in like getting to do it. You went to a few things, and there was a guy, he's a prop comic from England. He was in the Limelight. We went to go see him when Limelight Comedy Club was on,
right.
And he pulled me up on stage for his last bit. It was like a practical bit. You had to stand there on like a vibrating plate, and basically the whole gist of the bit. I don't think I've stolen the story in the podcast.
I don't know who that is. Can you remember the name?
If he was on 8 out of 10 Castles Countdown, and like was like the guest that sits by Susie Dent and all.
Yeah.
I'll if I had my phone on me, we use my phone to record. I'll be able to tell you straight away. But basically, he gets you on a vibrating plate, and he's like pretending you're driving a car, and everything's just fucking jiggling away. And he's like, stick on the radio there. And I goes, what do we listen to? And I'm like, oh, I know pop music. And he goes, oh, who sings pop music? And he's like, Katy Perry. He's like, I don't know any of her songs. What's she singing? I'm like, oh, like Firework. And he goes, I don't know that. Sing it. And he just hands the mic to you, and you're like, oh fuck, for fuck's sake. He just makes like a big cunt out of you. So, and he doesn't let you off until you start singing.
Yeah.
So I had to sing in Limelight in front of everybody. Fucking Katy Perry,
Firework.
Firework. It's a great bit. Like, hope he don't do it anymore, because
it's traumatizing.
But that happened, and I was like, fuck, I could do this. You know, I didn't mind being on the stage. It didn't really bother me that much. And then a second time was I went to the PAV and went on my own, just a bit of research and do a bit of networking to see how you get on and all. And one of the MCs, George Firehorse, was doing this bit about the walrus of truth. You ever seen that?
I haven't seen that, but
so he basically puts this walrus mask on somebody from the audience, and he basically like asks them like really controversial questions, and you have to like say whether you agree with it or disagree with it.
Right.
You can picture exactly what that would go like. But I was again the person selected to go up on stage. I was like, why do I keep getting? Do you know what I mean?
It's meant to be.
Yeah, I was just like, fuck, I need to give us a go.
Like a magnet to the stage.
Fucking hell. There's a story my mum tells where like I think they had all relatives we had, I think it's from America, came, and it's from her side of the family, and all the sort of cousins and second cousins got up, and some of them played a harp, some of them played a tin whistle, and everyone done a performance. Two of the girls sang and all. My younger brother got up and done, I think he done fucking the flute or something, and because he's in the lodge, and then I didn't have anything at all, but I kept saying I want to get up, and I was like 8. And my mum was like, you're not getting up. And then I went to my granny and went, tell everyone I'm getting up. And my granny went, he's getting up. And I got up and done 15 minutes of machine gun noises on stage. And then just doing impressions of characters from The Simpsons. And my mum was like, I think then that's when I realised you were going to do something like that.
What do you mean? You're going to be a school shooter?
No, I just got up on stage and went like, pretended it was a shotgun. I went, you ever see this one here? This is a machine gun. And then this is a lightsaber. Boom, boom. And then I went, this is Homer Simpson. And then just started like doing the dance on the ground. And my mum when I told her I want to be a stand-up comedian, she goes, I've never forgot that day because of how badly you embarrassed us.
Before it, mate.
So imagine like maybe 200 people in this room, and there's people are playing fucking the violin, and they're playing the harp, they're playing the most beautiful Irish,
doing fucking spider pig impressions.
So I got up on stage, and everyone's. I specifically remember someone going, "Is the wee fella going to sing?" And I just went, "Did you ever see this here? That's a cricket."
the person sitting beside your mum goes, "Is that your Kieran?" She's like, "No, that's not.
And
I don't know what that is."
then it would, like my granny said, and then I went and done like a tumble, and then like I came out of the tumble. And
You're doing Robbie Keane's goal celebration on stage.
Do you know that bet we have for Richarlison?
That's the
I think I've just found out what the 30 seconds is going to be.
Yeah.
You're doing 30 seconds of fucking machine gun.
Sideshow Bob impressions from The Simpsons and all, and
I'm going to get you to do impressions.
it's great. Yeah.
That is fucking ballistic.
So that was a story of when I knew I was wanting to be on the stage.
And what's the plans for the podcast now?
Get big enough, I can drop views and do my own one. Welcome to me telling stories that make no sense.
Good luck with that. Obviously to grow the numbers, and then hopefully maybe in the new year, maybe look to have something like a live podcast or something in a small venue, or maybe even
Waterfront Hall or something like that.
try maybe do like bonus episodes and maybe see something if we get something behind a paywall like Patreon or something.
We're looking
like
to do like bonus content. I think like bonus content as well. So not just like a lot of podcasts do like podcast weekly, then bonus podcasts. So you're getting the same thing. Maybe a different type of content as well out there.
Yeah,
whether it's vlogs or it's a game show idea we try each week or just something like.
Because I think like we can speak frankly with the audience at the start. Obviously we weren't comfortable doing the podcast, so like we had to do like room 101, room 102 was essentially
they helped bring us.
Yeah.
But we can all agree now. We've got to the stage now where the conversation's flowing more.
Definitely.
We've got a bit of traction. We've got big gigs to talk about.
A full hour just by chatting,
and then
questions. Maybe do the bonus podcast, which is more features and questions, and vlogs or a wee quiz, and
I've said as well,
reacting to news stories, shit like that. So there's new plans for the new year probably. And we're just trying to build more of an audience the rest of this year.
I've said as well, coming up to Christmas and stuff, I'd like us to do maybe like we pub crawl or something. We go out and we vlog it and stuff, and maybe do 12 pints or like.
So basically, whatever you can take "are we" and stick a different noun or adjective at the end of it. That's where the podcast goes.
Are we
very
massacre?
good marketing title, isn't it? Like
So are we? Do you want me to belter a pub quiz? Are we pub quiz?
Yeah, I read a quiz this week.
That's what I mean. You're the quiz
That's what
master.
you're saying that in Freeburns podcast, yeah.
Yes, Treases and Cultus, which is in like a Irish language, like traditional society, and they're doing a fundraiser. So I'm gonna MC a
pub quiz.
for
Oh,
them.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Mate, that just buzzed me. I love
She's like
doing
Nutty
a
Crust.
podcast.
What do we like for time there, Sean?
10 minutes left.
10 minutes.
Just under 10 minutes.
I want to save some of these questions for next week. But next one now, you might understand it's. Do you know what I mean by Sean McAleavey has asked, "What's your hang?" Do you know what that is?
Oh, from the Lemmy Show, yeah.
Lemmy. So
what's that?
You haven't seen this? There's a sketch in Lemmy Show, which is a comedy show, and it's called
Boys, like
he just goes up
fucking
and somebody's all, "What's your hang?"
boys. Plus the setting up thing keeps beeping, and like fucking means the
Okay.
fridge is left open.
Will we continue while he goes to the? Explain to me because he knows what thing.
Okay, I thought we were going to edit this out. That's sweet.
No.
So basically, he goes up to someone in public and he goes, "What's your hang?" And it's like, what's like a weird thing that you do, but you'd be a wee bit embarrassed about, right? Okay,
Right.
Which is like, see your reaction there.
I'm trying to think.
That's a great question.
It's like, not like, it's just something weird.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
I
mean?
actually have
What's
a
your hang?
lethal answer for this.
So for example, like my friend, like, I'm not naming any names, his is like he loves like hot air, right? Like he loves the feeling of like putting his hands under a hand dryer, right?
is it? Yeah.
So what he does is, and I'm not naming any names, but people listen to this is going to know.
They're gonna know, yeah.
Do you know when you put like a Hoover on? You know one of them Hoovers where you trail it along? It's like a square box.
Yeah.
The extractor fan at the back.
He comes in.
Yeah, it's fucking.
He puts a blanket over it when he's hungover, and like it fills him up full of hot air,
For fuck's sake.
and that's his thing. Right?
Right, okay.
So
That's
it's like
a
a
good
wee
question.
weird, creepy, like
Yeah.
what are you
What's your
embarrassed with?
wee dirty secret? Like
Yeah. So in Limmy's show, like the examples are ridiculous. One of the guys says he has a hamster up in his attic, and he sneaks up and he takes it out of the cage and pets it.
That's it. Puts it back.
And his son's all, "Daddy, what are you doing up there?" And he's all, "I'm just fixing the boiler." He's up there petting a wee hamster.
That's mad.
My thing, well, we've sort of covered it maybe on the very first episode.
Yeah.
Is like listening to like weird sounds to go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Like war sounds and like storms and stuff, and like picturing that I'm in a tent.
Mine is so I do this thing where like, do you know when you get really warm, but like my feet get really warm. So
Yeah.
my feet will get roasting hot, so I want to take my socks off, but I don't like taking my socks off all the way. Right?
Mate,
Yeah.
my mate does this. And I
Fucking
was going to
right.
use that example halfway off your feet.
Right, so I like, so for reference, I'm getting my foot out here for anyone listening on audio.
Yeah.
I basically roll my sock down round my foot, like Joe roll it.
Yeah.
Just like all roll, and then leave it at the top of my toes.
Mate,
Right.
mate does the exact same thing.
I didn't realise this was weird until a couple of months ago. We were like at a trip with a couple of friends, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I looked, and the way I was sitting was like a wee hat from my toes, Joe. And then and then I christened. I was like, "You know what that is? That's the sombrero. That's what sombrero."
I gotta say that to my mate because I was with him last night and I was saying about how Sean McAleavey, they asked that question, was with us last night. And Smiley, Sean McAleavey was all, you need to say about Boyle's thing with the socks.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He
Joe,
does the
I
exact same
realised
thing.
I do that though. I figured it out because I've done a lot of investigating on why that's a thing.
Yeah.
So my dad would always give off me. So if I take my socks off and leave them like in the living room, so obviously in my head I'm like, oh fuck, I can't be arsed taking these off and him giving me guff. So I just roll them to the end of my toes and walk about with fucking.
That's class.
That's a great
you
thing.
Said that, like.
Because Joe, people have a weird thing about toes.
Yeah.
I have quite primal feet where I can like lift things with my toes as well. Do you know what I mean? Like a proper like chimpanzee. Like
Yeah.
I could like do my laces with my toes.
My bad.
That's my my feet is my thing. That's my thing.
Mine is in school, the school I work in, going speaking to the nurse, and then while she's talking to me, because she always has her
Trying not to get a boner.
cupboard open. No, Jesus, not with her. Her cupboard is open all the time, and I'm like, "Oh, how's your day?" And then sneaking my hand into the cupboard and taking, a load of cotton buds, and then like going.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then going into the bathroom and cleaning my ears with the cotton buds that I didn't pay for.
I thought you were going to say left a load of fucking
I find it so
strapsils or something.
Do I love about it? It's all harmless.
Yeah.
But there's always something
Weird about
slightly
it, yeah.
creepy and almost vaguely sexual about it.
Yeah, because the feeling of I was about to say the feeling of the cotton bud in your ear, especially when you get a good bit of wax, is better than an orgasm.
It's
Especially when it's a stolen cotton bud.
Yeah, but see when you get it, you pull it out, and there's just a big chunk of wax on the end of it.
It's stinking.
Hard to beat, boy.
But delicious.
Oh, that's funny then.
And
Right.
then-
That's a great question.
We'll finish up with one other question. Yeah, that was a bad
So we got sent. We had sent a ridiculous question. What's the best pair of decks you've ever seen? So we're not answering that. And
You just wanted to say the word Dex this
Dex, yeah.
episode.
And my mate Conal, good to hear from you, Conal. Glad to see you're doing well. Is if you can have one guest each on the podcast, who do you want on?
Are we talking ridiculous here or realistic?
You can have anyone on the podcast.
Let's go ridiculous because there's a lot of people we'd like to get on,
Yeah.
but it's possible to get them on.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
not say them.
Yeah.
You'll fucking be not again, but I think you'd be a class podcast film for
Please
us.
don't say it. Don't say it.
Jose Mourinho.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's actually not
I
that
think it'd
bad.
be a good crack.
That's
to
your
have on.
second tier one because obviously Tom Cruise is your first one. Who's
Yeah.
who's your second?
Yeah,
tier?
Jose
Like,
Mourinho. But imagine him on the podcast and be, you guys are very good.
Yeah.
I would like to get Jimmy Hutchinson on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Hutchinson would be well there. Like.
That'd be a good
Some
crack.
of the stories he comes out with are fucking insane. Like I got a bigger crack, and people don't know who he is. Like from here, do you know what I mean? People wouldn't really know him, so I'd like to sort of.
I'm still laughing at what's your hang.
Yeah, fuck, you'd be there all day. What about you, Sean?
I don't know what angle to take. I would love to get someone kind of just mental on.
Sean's also had Miss what is it?
Miss
Britain's
Northern
Top
Ireland,
Model or what?
Oh,
was
Miss
it?
Great Britain on the
Biggest Great
podcast.
Britain.
Like,
This is
you've already had
biggest
some
porn
random
star.
ones there.
Want to talk about Dax?
You're only cancelled, boy.
She DJ as well.
I'd like to play a few tunes on those decks, but spit a few records on them.
Joe's
Favorite chocolate bar, double dagger.
Joe's a bad habit from this podcast. So obviously we go on the way three fucking white guys will go on like, and then last night I was out lashing and we were chatting about someone. I goes, some Dax, and she's just like, what the fuck? I was like, oh shit.
But
She's like, I really don't appreciate that language. I know you're joking, but like, I don't appreciate that language. She's like,
Taking podcast banter into the real
yeah,
world.
I was like, stop. You know what I mean? It was hard to be a good set of Dax, like or a good set of bosoms. Like, she's like, stop.
none of my mates ever used it, and now they're obsessed with it. And like we were in General Merchants the other day, and like we were sitting outside, and my mate's like, "Some deck in here, in there."
Who would I have on? I would like to have someone like just mad, like Stephen Nolan, but I actually get a bit of crack out of him.
Stephen Nolan's getting the back ripped off.
I know.
No, but I'd just be like, it'd be like, Stephen, come on, let's all put all this shit aside. What do you actually like? What's your hang?
I was actually going to say a horrible joke there after me defending it there at the mark. Go on.
What's your hang? I'm
Stephen.
like wee boys.
eating KFC in my car, Stevens.
So,
Anyway.
final question. I like this one. Will Ray asked a joke you've done that's bombed the most.
Ooh.
My first gig, the only time like I've ever, I'm not gonna say the only time I've ever bombed, but the only joke I've ever written that like I'd done it once, or it bombed. It was my first ever gig, and I've never done it again.
It's just like a joke you've just kept trying to make work, but just doesn't.
No, I've only done this once.
Oh,
so it's never happened to
So
me
you don't
before.
strike me as the type. I've never seen you do something that's died more than once.
Exactly.
If it's not a killer, it's gone for you.
No such thing, mate. Everything I write's gold. Everything I write works somewhere, but this one didn't. It was when I was, in my Nutty Crush routine.
Mm-hmm.
I said it's thicker than Joey Essex and Kim Kardashian, and that died on its ass. But thicker as in Joey Essex, as in dumb thick. Kim Kardashian is in thick with 3 C's.
Yeah.
But it got no laughs.
I
I don't think it's that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not, but it died in its soul, and I just immediately went, well, that's never been said again.
Mine was one about how I started to think that my granddad doesn't really like Jewish people, and there's certain telltale signs. And then my granddad never said this, but there was a story about an old man in a pub, and when Jews came on the screen, he went, "See those bastards there? Nothing but trouble wherever they went." And me and my mate were sitting there like, "What the fuck?" And I've tried to incorporate that in, but it just came across quite blatantly anti-Semitic or something.
Jesus.
So I done that in Green Room in the day where it was like sort of a relay of comedians just all going on. So I was like, I'm just going to do loads of new shit here and see what works and what doesn't. And some worked, some didn't. But I remember that was just silence, and I was like, oh, fuck, let's move on.
I remember it was what was it? I was trying to write a bit about like staycations and stuff like that, feeling like the Galgorn thing I do, and like the start part was like you can always tell. What was it? You can always tell when someone's been on an Irish holiday. Different, how you can tell someone went on like a foreign holiday. Like on a foreign holiday, it's like, oh well, Joanne, you got a lovely tan last week. Basically. But when on an Irish holiday, like, Jesus, Dave, you're whiter than you were last week. Yeah. That was the joke, and I was just, it just did not.
That's not bad, yeah.
Well, it was, tough room that night.
Tough room. I love how we've ended this podcast with us just purposely eating shit.
Yeah.
Have a gig for us.
Our 3 worst jokes, and then try to promote gigs afterwards. So we're wrapping up there, guys.
Yeah.
What have we got this week coming up?
Well, in 2 weeks, you can see all 3 of us all together when we do the new University of Ulster is opened a brand new, fresh, amazing students' union in York Street. So just as you come into town, if you're a new student coming into the University of Ulster, and they're running their first ever comedy night in it, and it's headlined by none other than
me, Peter Giffen.
It also features us.
Peter Alex Giffen.
It also features me and Sean. It features the incredible Ian Thompson, Adam Mogi, Justin Freeburn, Danny Kelly, some other amazing acts. And get down. It's only £4 on the door or £3 online, and you're going to get to see 20 minutes of Pete Giffen, probably more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes of us, and all these other amazing acts. So get on down.
And I will be charging about £5 per selfie if anyone wants one. Yeah, or it's £7 per group one.
Following, book it online ahead.
Yeah. None of you are on this, but Yo Magazine, we're running the second round 2, headlined by Sean Hegarty, MC'd by the amazing Fintan Harvey, and you can see boxer turned comedian. He's been hitting the ground running. Tommy McCarthy as well. So yeah, I
have gigs. So. The big announcement this week was myself and Ciaran are taking Speakeasy on the road on the international tour down to Newry.
Yeah.
We're still working out support and stuff like that. Our support act's been very difficult at the moment, but we're going to see who we get involved for that. So tickets actually are flying out for that already. So avoid all disappointment and get them now because it's looking like a sellout, lads.
If they'll have me, I should be able to make that.
Yeah.
I have another gig on that, but I should be able to make it. But you...
Oh yes, this week I'm playing this wee club. You might have known about it. This week I am doing Lavery's on Wednesday and Thursday, double bill, and I'm absolutely buzzing for it. I found out I seen that they released the poster on Saturday night where I was absolutely blocked. I proceeded to share it on all social media, but you got to do that, and I was buzzing with it. As the response, like me, it's been, I'm going to get down and see. I'm incredibly excited. But come Wednesday afternoon, I will probably be a nervous wreck. Any kids in the school go, "Sir, can you help me?" Like, don't fucking speak to me.
Scream at them.
Yeah.
This week I am in Portrush with Sean as well.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're in Portrush together in Kiwis. That should be class. Dave Elliott's headline that, and Oisin McCallion is also going to be there. Don't know who he's MCing. Gary Pollock. Gary Pollock's MCing, and then on Sunday I think I'm in the Sunflower in Belfast.
Yes, we're together again. So a few scoops at that boy.
That's it, guys.
Thank you very much.
That's it. See you all again in the next one. Make sure you get on the Instagram page. Yep. Check all that out for the new segments as well. Keep promoting, keep sharing, keep liking. Spotify.
Follow us on Instagram personal profiles as well.
Okay,
see where we're playing.
Follow us on Instagram. Give us a like rating on Spotify. Go on to YouTube. We're near 100 subscribers, and keep rating on Spotify.
And hug your mum.
Yeah,
she deserves it.
Yeah,
she's a nice woman.
And send in some voice notes of the stories of your worst hangover place
Voice
you woke
notes
up.
would be funnier,
Yeah.
yeah.
Voice notes, and we'll play
Voice
them out
notes.
on the podcast as well. So yeah, guys, that's Pod. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
See you.